I know that we are on the second day of a weekend refresher course from the Speech and Stuttering Institute. And maybe I'll start with Terry. Terry, where do you come from?
I come from New Brunswick.
And when did you take our intensive treatment program?
A long time ago, probably in the 1980s.
And so you've attended these refresher courses on occasion, and how do you see their benefit?
I think what it does is it gets me back in tune with my speech. I find that being away from Toronto, I'm somewhat isolated, and I tend to develop habits that I ought not to. But by coming back to the refresher course, I get the targets that you have to attain to have good speech are reinforced in my mind. And that really helps me for quite a while after I take the refresher course.
That's great. So the trip in is worthwhile.
Oh yeah, definitely worth.
That's great. And Adrian, where are you from?
Right now I'm living in Hamilton, Ontario.
And you took the program when?
I took the program in January 2015, 2 years ago.
And can you tell us a little bit about why you came for the therapy?
Well, I guess in 2015 my stutter was a source of significant stress for me. And I've had a lot of speech therapy in the past, and I was new to Hamilton, so I was looking for a place that had a intensive type of program, and Toronto was conveniently close by.
Right.
And so that's why I pursued it, because I felt like I needed some sort of treatment at the time.
What would you say would be the biggest benefit that you received from the treatment?
The biggest benefit that I received was reinstating my confidence in speaking, especially at work, which is probably where it benefited me the most. It also makes work much more enjoyable, and it also makes simply the interactions you have with people much more enjoyable as well.
So you can enjoy your work rather than worrying about how you might be talking at work.
Yeah, which I think for somebody who stutters is what they do most of the time.
Right.
Just think about their stutter.
And do you find these refresher courses helpful?
I do. I think that they're extremely important, and in fact, I would argue that they're mandatory to be successful in your communication if you do stutter. I have the analogy that, stuttering is a type of disability, I guess, and lots of disabilities out there require aids for success. For example, an amputee can't walk without a prosthesis. Somebody who's hard of hearing can't hear without hearing aids. And this would be the same source of aid to help somebody who does stutter.
Great analogy. Julia, you're from London, right? London,
Yeah.
Ontario?
I'm actually from Toronto, but I currently live in London, yeah.
Okay. And what was your speech like before you took the therapy?
I would say that I had a lot of blocks and was a covert stutterer probably more than an overt stutterer.
So can you tell us a little bit, for those of us who don't really quite understand what that is, what is a covert stutterer?
Sure. So that is basically living your life trying to hide your stutter, so avoiding certain words or word switching, avoiding situations, you know, relying on other people to order for you or introduce yourself, and just kind of avoiding stuttering.
And so how did this therapy tackle that issue?
Yeah. So I think what the Fluency Plus program provided me was tools to help me use, or to help me speak more easily. And so, you know, because it's so tailored to specific sounds, I am able to pinpoint what targets I should use for what sounds, and just provide me with a little bit more of an ability to navigate my speech. Whereas before the therapy, I didn't know what to do. I didn't even really know the intricacy of speaking and all the coordinated movements and breathing required. So it really just made it more of a reachable, real thing, and less of this elusive thing that I don't know what's happening to me.
And the refresher seminars that you're attending here, what are the benefits that you derive? You're sort of a recent grad, so you've come to a couple now.
I've come to 2. This is my second one. It's, first of all, nice also seeing old friends and meeting new people. It's really nice to share strategies, because I find that there's no necessarily one treatment method for stuttering. So we get to mingle and share ideas, which I think is great. Refreshing the targets and going through why we use them and actually practicing them, I think, is also very helpful, and keeping them at the forefront of my mind. And the transfers as well is a thing that typically one finds hard to do on their own, but in a group setting, it's very easy and helpful.
That's great. So Jasso, I'm just going to get you in here a little bit better here. Yeah. Okay, Jasso, so you are from the other side of the border.
That's
right?
correct. I live in Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio, US.
And so you've taken the program quite some time ago as well.
Yes, I took the program back in 1989, and then I did not do any follow-up, no shaping. I never came to any of the refresher, and my speech started to go back, and I was stuttering a lot. Then I came back for the program for the second time in 1993, and since then I have been attending the refresher, so every year.
So